Okay, so let's dive into May 12th, 2025. Our first source, Astrology of the Day. It sets quite a scene, doesn't it? An emotionally intense day. Talks about powerful and charged feelings.
Yeah, and even shocking reveals. It definitely sounds like a significant day energetically.
For sure. Makes you wonder what's brewing. It suggests, our inner world gets turned up loud.
Exactly. Like those feelings simmering under the surface. They might just, well, boil over, demanding attention.
Right. And to really unpack this, we're looking at two great resources from Tarot by High C. We've got the direct astrological forecast.
And also this narrative piece, Beneath the Red Moon,
Yeah.
which kind of illustrates these energies through a story. It adds a different layer, I think.
Totally. So the mission today isn't just like fortune telling, it's more about exploring these big players, the Scorpio full moon, Mercury square Pluto.
hmm And figuring out how they might, influence our emotions, relationships, maybe even our sense of personal truth. Understanding the vibe, really.
Okay, let's start with the headliner. That Scorpio full moon. The forecast uses words like breaking down, burying, revealing, and crumbling beneath the surface.
Wow. Yeah, not exactly a walk in the park, is it? But think of it this way. That intensity, it can be like a laser pointer,
Okay.
highlighting exactly what needs looking at in our lives. Maybe recurring emotional stuff gets amplified, offering clues, perhaps.
That's a useful way to think about it. It also mentions secrets, hidden feelings, potentially coming out quite abruptly,
Yeah.
shockingly even.
Yes, connects right back to those shocking reveals. Scorpio full moons have this reputation for excavating things, stuff we've maybe pushed down or ignored.
Right.
So there's often this powerful urge that comes up to change things, transform parts of life that just aren't working anymore, which naturally can mean endings too, or big shifts in how we see things.
Big shifts, like maybe seeing our own less flattering sides,
Yeah.
our shadow aspects.
Could be. But it also talks about dismantling limiting beliefs. That feels potentially quite positive, doesn't it?
Yeah, like getting rid of old baggage, shedding skin.
Exactly. That focused energy can really force us to confront those beliefs holding us back, the ones we might not even consciously recognize. It tests our foundations.
Foundations related to what? Career, public image.
Those, yes, but also the forecast mentions intimacy. How solid are those structures, really? What strikes you about that challenge?
I think the call for authenticity. It says commitments made now need emotional and spiritual integrity, not just looking good on the outside.
That's crucial, yeah. It's not a time that really supports anything superficial. If you build something now based on truth,
It lasts.
that's the idea. But only if we're willing to face the deeper stuff, the uncomfortable
Yeah.
currents. Otherwise, things that seemed secure, they could get shaky.
Especially if they're based on denial, maybe? Or trying too hard to control things.
Precisely. The source warns about destabilization. If the foundation isn't sound, well, reality might give it a push.
Which leads us perfectly into Beneath the Red Moon, right?
Yeah.
As an illustration of all this.
Exactly. The story just dives right in with that image. A red, heavy moon. You immediately feel that Scorpio vibe, don't you?
Totally. And the veil thinning between mind and soul suggests secrets are close. Really close.
Yeah, almost tangible. Then we meet Mara, holding on to her secrets, and there's this ritualistic setting with mugwort and cedar.
But then her estranged sister, Lyra, shows up.
Hmm.
And you instantly feel that tension, that history.
And it's fascinating how the full moon itself seems to pull them together, you
Yeah.
know? Despite the distance, the old wounds, the sharp words.
Sharp blades in the air.
Mhm.
It's such a vivid description for unspoken tension.
It really is. And then the climax, Mara confesses the secret about their mother, and the story says, the earth trembled.
Wow. Just shows the weight of that revealed truth. And the roots tangled in skulls.
Powerful symbol, isn't it? The past literally refusing to stay buried.
Yeah.
It just perfectly highlights that core Scorpio full moon theme. Secrets will out. You have to face those tangled roots, those old wounds to heal.
Okay, so that's the main event. But the forecast also flags a couple of other aspects around this time. Scorpio moon, opposite Uranus. Sounds unpredictable.
Yeah. Uranus always brings an element of the unexpected, and opposition creates tension, right? So deep Scorpio emotion meets Uranus's need for freedom and, well, sudden change.
So like sudden flashes of insight, feeling restless.
Exactly. A strong urge for emotional freedom. It can be a jolt, shaking things up in ways you didn't see coming, pushing for change.
Okay, intense feelings, potential bombshells.
Yeah.
It sounds like a recipe for drama. But then there's also moon trine Saturn. What does that do?
Saturn, often the stabilizer. A trine is usually more harmonious, supportive, so this aspect can actually help ground things.
Ground the intensity.
Yeah, temper the volatility a bit. It offers structured discipline. So even with intense feelings or sudden realizations, there's this potential to process them more responsibly, to integrate the insights maybe.
Okay, that's helpful. Some ballast in the storm, so it's not all chaos. There's a chance to build something from it.
That
Now, the other big one, Mercury square Pluto. The forecast says, be careful with words. That sounds like a warning sign.
it is, yeah. Communication gets really charged. Potential for verbal power struggles is high. Words can become weapons, basically.
Intentionally or not.
Could be either. The intensity is just there. Words can be used to control, intimidate, or just hit really hard.
And it mentions thoughts getting dark, obsessive, or suspicious. Like our minds become a bit of a minefield.
That's a good way to put it. There's this digging quality, this urge to get to the absolute truth, which can be good, leading to honest talks, uncovering things,
Yeah.
but it can also tip into suspicion, dwelling on the negative. The forecast even warns about potentially facing a barrage of hard truths.
Ouch. Which again links straight back to beneath the red moon. It actually says Mercury squared Pluto tonight.
Yep, explicitly.
Yeah.
And describes how words would turn to weapons, conversations would cut deep. It's like verbal combat.
No masks allowed. It says Marta feels that Mercury-Pluto current crashed through her veins and lies are like thorns.
It really paints a picture of that struggle, doesn't it? The difficulty, the pain even, of speaking hard truths. But ultimately,
That's how they start to reconnect.
it seems so. It's through facing those uncomfortable truths that the healing, or at least the potential for it, begins.
Okay, so pulling it all together,
hmm
what are the main takeaways for May 12th? What's the essence here?
We've got this potent mix, right? Intense Scorpio full moon emotions, digging deep, revealing things. That's kind of amplified by the potential for Uranian shocks or breakthroughs.
But softened slightly, or grounded by that Saturn trine.
Right. And running alongside all that emotional intensity, you have Mercury square Pluto making communication incredibly powerful, but also potentially volatile, a real push-pull between honesty and conflict.
It definitely sounds like a time when hidden things really want to surface, whether we're ready or not.
Mm,
Revelation and transformation seem to be the big themes.
absolutely. And while it might feel intense, maybe even overwhelming, it's crucial to remember the potential here. Breaking old, stuck patterns, fostering real authenticity.
Getting real, basically.
Yeah, confronting what's actually there, inside us and in our relationships.
So thinking about our listener navigating this energy, what should they maybe be reflecting on?
It's a great time for some honest self-checking. What feelings are bubbling up for you, maybe even now? Where do you feel that need for change, that pull towards something different?
Are there conversations looming? Difficult ones, maybe.
Or what hidden truths about yourself, your life, your relationships might be asking for attention? What old ways of being are ready to be transformed, even if letting go feels hard?
It really makes you think, doesn't it? That idea that disruption, while uncomfortable, can actually be necessary. Necessary for real growth, for building on truth.
Exactly.
So maybe the question for you, the listener, is there a discomfort you've been avoiding? Something this energy might be nudging you towards? And what could be revealed if you just gently looked beneath the surface, even if it feels a bit scary?
That's the heart of it, I think. Embracing that authenticity, even when it's tough. Transformation isn't always neat and tidy, is it? But often it's in those moments where things feel like they're breaking down. That's where the space opens up. Space for something stronger, truer to come through.